Hello everyone, greetings of the day. I hope you guys are doing well. So recently I have covered the basic of Python and today I'm going to present my new project which is data analysis in hospitality domain. So we are going to use this imaginary brand called Atlic Grants for this project, and this company is a hotel chain which operates in various states of India, and they have hotels in 4 cities: Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore and Hyderabad, and they have been in the industry for around 20 years, and they have hotels like Atlic Seasons, Exotica, Atlic Bay, Atlic Palace, etc. For example, Atlic Palace is a luxurious hotel, whereas Atlic Exotica is a business class hotel. And also they have different types of rooms like standards, elite, premium. The booking can be done from various types of platform like make your trip, logo trip, etc. And that data will go into Atlic booking database, and from this database we are going to perform the data analysis, because Atlic Grant is now facing major challenge from their competitors. So they are losing their market share, their revenue, and their management has decided to perform a depth data analysis and find the root cause so that they can increase their revenue. So in order to do that, we have this database where all the transaction, day-to-day information, the revenue generated, cancellations, all the information is stored here. So we are going to extract the data from the booking database, then we are going to transform this data, and then we are going to load this data into other database where we are going to do the data analysis part, which is also called data warehouse. So I'm going to pull the data in Jupyter notebook and will perform data analysis over here. So the first part of this process called OLTP, online transactional processing, because here we used to store all the transactional data, and the second part is called OLAP, online analytical processing. Here in the data warehouse we are going to use this data and we are going to perform analytical solution. So in the project we are going to understand all the steps in the data analytics project. The first step is understand business problem. So here our problem is Atlic Grants is losing their market share, they are losing their revenues, that we want to get answers on some key questions, which is okay, what is my occupancy, which cities I am losing more revenues than the other cities. So this was the business problem. Now we have the second part will be the data collection. So in our case data warehouse has all the data that we need and it has been exported to the CSV files, and the next step will be data cleaning and exploration, because whatever the data we are getting from the data warehouse we need to clean, we need to explore the whole data, we need to sort them, we need to understand them, and then we are going to perform data transformation, and finally we are going to do insight collections from the data. So now first of all we are going to import pandas as PD, then I'm going to load all the data set from uh, the factbooking.csv, and I'm loading this data into a variable called df bookings. So df bookings dot head, by using this we can see the top three rows of the data set. So I want to know how many rows and how many columns that we have in the data. So I'm going to use the save function. Also for the room category field, we can use a unique function to get the unique. I can run this function and we can see that we have rt1, rt2, rt3, rt4 room category. Also you can do the same for the booking platforms, because I have varieties of booking platforms, so I can see the unique names of the booking platforms. Sometimes we want to know that from the all the bookings IDs that we have, how many are from the log tree, from the log trip star, from make your trips. So different types of ways that we got our all the booking IDs. So by using value counts, you can see that make your trip has 26,000 plus bookings. By log trip we have 14,000 plus bookings, even though by direct online we have 13,000 plus. Now also from here we can plot a bar chart. It is pretty simple, we just need to say plot, and here we can see line chart over here. Here we can pass this argument called kind is equal to bar, to get the bar chart, and see it says via other categories we're getting 50,000 bookings, via make your trip we're getting 30,000 plus bookings. So all the distributions are here, you can see from the bar chart. So here also you can use bar h, which is a horizontal bar. Also here we can use describe function. It will give us a quick statistic of the numerical data that we have. So it will show us the count, mean, standard deviation, 25% ratio, 50% ratio, 75% ratio, and the max value of all the data. Here we have property ID, number of guests, returns given, revenue generated, revenue realized, each and every things in a same place. And also here we can do something like we can use df bookings dot revenue generated min, and df bookings.revenue generated max to get all the bookings minimum data and the maximum data. And again, this number is per booking. So per booking, the minimum revenue generated is 6500, and the maximum revenue generated is showing so high. So it might be a data error. We are going to clean the data too. Now here I am going to load all the remaining data files. For example, df hotels.shape, it will give us the ideas of the data sets. Also we can see the df hotels, we have property id, property name, etc. For example, we have df hotels dot category, so we can get the value count of it. So total we have 16 luxury hotel and 9 business class hotels. So all of these things, whatever we are whatever I'm explaining to you, it is called data exploration. By using this, I'm just trying to make sense out of the data. Also here, in the df hotel city value counts, we can sort the values, ascending order, descending orders. Even though we can also plot the data into a bar chart, and you can see that Mumbai has the maximum number of hotels, the Delhi has a lesser number of hotels of Atlic grants. Now talking about the data cleaning part, now let's talk about the describe function again. So we can use df bookings.describes to get all the details of the files. So here you can see the guest column has some negative values, such as negative minus 17. So you can see here number of guests, we can see it cannot be 0 or minus or negative value. So it has to be more than 0, right? So let's see how many negative numbers we have. So the number of negative values, those are error basically. So here I'll just say df bookings dot no guest less than 0, and we have so many data over here. You can see, so we found these many values which have negative number of guests. We can go to our business manager, and we can ask them what to do. In my case, we are going to remove all the data that has negative guest values. So previously we are using df bookings dot guest less than 0. Now we are going to we are going to use df.bookings number of guests is greater than 0 to get all the data which has at least a value that is greater than 0, and we can store that data in the same data frame, in the same variable that we have used, df slash booking. So now let's see how the revenue generated value. The minimum revenue generated is 6500, and the maximum revenue generated is so high. So it is not possible, right? So maybe this could be a error, so we need to check. So it is purely a data error. So here we can do couple of things, like we can ask to our business manager, or else we can use standard deviation method to get the outliers. Eventually we can verify all the data to check what is the room category, is there any premiumness or presidential things happening or not. Well, how can I get the mean and standard deviation? And if I just copy paste the std, so it is showing me the standard deviation. So this is one standard deviation, and the standard deviation rule is saying we can go 3 for the max, and we can go 3 for the less. So let me store this in the variable. So I'm going to store this into average and standard deviation, and if I do average plus 3 standard deviation, so that is a limit. So if the value is more than this, that is considered as an outlier. So I'm just going to call this higher limit. So that's gonna be my higher limit. So if you look at this diagram, it is the formula of standard deviation. You can go, basically we don't care about the lower limit. The rule I can apply is my revenue generated should not be in negative. Let's do a quick check and figure out if this is working or not. And now I need to check on my higher limit. What is my higher limit? Well, here I can use greater than higher limit, and this will going to show me all my higher limits. And look at these crazy values. You can see 9 million, 28 million. So basically these are going to be a data error, and now I'm going to clean all them. And how I can do that? Well, I have to use the reverse of the condition. The valid values are anything which is less than higher limit. So you can see the values, and these are 9,000, 10,000, that understandable. Now I'm going to again add this into a variable with the same name called df bookings. It will obviously modify my original data. So I did data cleaning for revenue generated. So in the hotel business, there is a concept called occupancy percentage. So the occupancy rating is nothing but successful bookings divided by capacity. For example, out of 30 rooms, I have successful 25 bookings. So my OCC percentage will be 25 divided by 30. So that's the occupancy percentage. So in the hotel businesses, this this matrix is very, very important. So I'm going to create a new column which shows the occupancy percentage of my data, and I'm going to generate some insights based on that column. I'm applying the same formula, which is successful bookings divided by capacity. See, I have the new column of OCC percentage over here, and here you can see the percentage is not formatted properly, so I want to convert it into percentage format. So here I can use a round function to do that, but also we can do this by using a lambda function. So here I'm going to use the lambda function, lambda x. So creating new column is one type of transformations that I did, and other types of transformation could be normalization. So what is normalization here? So here I have the stocks with price and currency, but the currency types are different. One is USD, another one is INR. So here I cannot compare these two stocks because both of their currency is different. So what I can do is I can create a new column called price INR, where I can transform the USD price to INR and keep the INR price the same, and this is called normalization. And I can do this by using this custom Python functions. And the third types of transformation could be merge. Let's say we have two data set. One is movie ID and title, and second one is movie ID, revenue and budget. And here in Python I can do that easily by using merge function. Another form of data transformation could be aggregation, where I have some data and I want to aggregate. I want to get some sum, average, mean, max, standard deviation, etc. So these are all aggregation functions. So here I want to know how much total revenue from Bollywood versus Hollywood. So and here I can use pandas group by to get this data, and I just simply use this df.group by the industry, revenue and the sum of their values. Now coming to the last part, which is insight generation. In the ad hoc analysis, I'm going to generate some insights. For example, let's say the question I was asked is, what is an average occupancy rate in each of the room categories? So here how we can get the answer. So in our data we have the occupancy rate percentage. So we can use df aggregations booking the data dot group by function and group by room category that we want to specify, then the occupancy rate, then the average value, which is mean. And see, we have the 58.2 for the RT1 room categories, 58.02 the RT3, etc. We can also round these, by the way, if we don't want to see too many decimals. When I'm seeing this data, what is this RT1, RT2, RT3 means? So we can get this answer. So is it standard, presidential? What is that? So that information is in df underscore rooms data. What if we can join these two data set, and instead of RT1 we can see the OCC percentage of the standard types of rooms, the elite types of rooms, the premium types of category rooms. So in our case we have two different column names, so we can use left on and right on function, which comes under pandas libraries, and then you can use df dot head 4 which will show us the top 4 rows. And see, we have perform a join, and we have now property ID, check-in date, room category, etc. And now I'm going to perform the same group by functions to get the elite, premium and residential types of categories and their OCC percentage. So this way I can join two different data set. By the way, when I join these two data frame, I have this extra column. You can see one is room category, another one is room ID. Both have the same things. So by using drop function, I can remove one of these clone. We have to use in place is equal to true, otherwise the data sets are not going to be changed. And now I want to know in the month of June what was the occupancy for different cities. Now I'm going to filtering the data on June. So now if you look at this, you can see the MMYY, it shows the data May. So this has that information. If you use df MMYY dot unique IDs of the column. So I have May, June, July data. So if I do df MMYY is equal to June, I just want to get that only June data. Let me just store this into a new data frame called df underscore June, and now we can perform the group by statements again. So here I can use df underscore June, which is our new data set, and then we can use group by city that we need, and their OCC percentage, and then mean and round. So here you can see I have city, which is Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad, and their OCC percentage, but this data is only for June. And in the end, the last analytics, I want to print month by month revenue. So in June, how much was the revenue? In July, how much was the revenue? So to get that, I have two data sets, so we can merge them. So we can perform the join by using left on checking date and right on date column. So now my data frame is perfectly working fine. I use the group by and df booking.all.group by, then the mmyy, which is represent the months, then the revenue realized dot sum, the total of the revenue. By using this, I have all the information like all the month June, July, May, and their revenues. So yeah, this was all about the project. And also do let me know your thoughts in the comment sections if you have anything for me. Thank you very much.